All right, so today we're going to do this worksheet. I want to do a couple examples together, solving equations. We're going to start down here with letter H, right here. So go ahead and pull that worksheet out and copy it onto a separate sheet of paper as we do this. So let's go ahead and do that. Give yourself a little space from the top. I'm going to write here that we're number H, is the one we're working on, and it says 4x plus 4 equals 2x plus 36. Do you notice how I'm spacing this out? Like I'm making sure that I've got lots of room. Let me zoom way in on this so we can see it good. Notice how I've spaced this out really well? And we're going to start off with this balance scale. Go ahead and draw a line, and don't worry how much paper we're using. We don't want to worry about that. You don't have to do this, but I am going to draw a balance scale just so that we can remember how this connects. This is optional. Only do it if you want. But take a look at what I'm doing here. Let's remember that this means I have 4 x's and a 4. And on the other side, I have 2 x's and a 36. And the reason I want to do this is because our first question, like, what do I do first? Well, this is what I was telling you. Look where your x's are. And it's easy to see on the picture, right? I've got x's here, and there's more of them. Make sure that's colored in so we don't think it's negative. This is the side I'm going to. So this is where I'm focusing, right on here, right? That's what I'm thinking about. I need to have this alone. Well, that means 2 things. We're always checking for 2 things. One, I'll have to get rid of that 4. And the other thing is I got to have my x's only on one side. So I got to get rid of these x's. These are the things I'm getting rid of. How do we get rid of stuff in algebra? By adding its opposite. So it's as simple as this. This is what we're going to do in algebra, right? You don't have to do this picture. I just showed it so that we could reference it. To get rid of that 4, I have to add a negative 4. Like this, negative 4 in a circle. And if you're going to draw a picture, make sure you're using colored markers so you can see the difference as you're adding stuff. 4 and negative 4, and it makes 0. But listen, I can't just do that, right? If I add a negative 4 on this side, this equation tips. It won't be balanced. That's why I've got to do it to both sides. And so I also add a negative 4 onto the other side. Yeah, now it stays balanced, right? It's this balanced scale, and nope, it's balanced. And notice how I don't put the negative 4 under the x's. Those are different. I put it under the 36. Like this. Now, so we got rid of that 4, but how do I get rid of those 2 x's? Same thing, right? I need all my x's on one side. And we'll do it the same way by adding its opposite. By adding 2 negative x's, right? So when I do it on here, it looks like this. I'm adding 2 negative x's. So in one stroke, in one brilliant stroke, we've brought this problem down to a solution, right? So, and I look at the mistake I made. My balance tipped, right? I got 2 negative x's here. I didn't do it on that side. Let's go back. I need my 2 x's on this side. Negative x's. And so we see that this disappears. This disappears, it comes off the scale. So now this is messy, right? And so I'm not going to work with pictures anymore. I'm going to work like this. Watch how streamlined it looks. And we're actually going to put this 0 in here. Notice how I cross through the middle of the numbers. That equals 0. This equals 0. This is all we've done so that in one quick step, I come to an answer. 4x negative 2x is 2x. This is 0. I'm not going to write it. It's disappeared. Equals, I don't write this. It's disappeared. And 36 minus 4 is 32. Now this last step that we do is we're just dividing by the coefficient, by that number, right? So that my x is alone. And it looks like this. Divide by 2, both sides. That means I'd make everything half as big so that it stays balanced, right? If I only did one side, it wouldn't work. And I'll end up with x equals, and half of 32 is 16, I think. Now notice how I've kept things lined up. I'm going to actually show this with my invisible marker, right? I'm keeping all my numbers lined up. I don't shift them over to here. I'm keeping my X's lined up. I don't start drifting them here. We want to be in the habit of organizing our work this way. When you're done, we're going to write the answer in a box off to the side somewhere. So I might even, I guess, go up to this H up here, X equals 16. I'm just going to write it up here. Do that very good. X equals 16, and then put it in a box. Let's go to our puzzle up here. X equals 16, right? So let's go, what are quiz? The answer to H is 16, right? I'm going to write it on here. And so I go up here and I look for 16s, and those will become the letter H. And there might be more than one. So I'm looking. If you don't find the 16, then the answer's wrong. So here I've got my first one done. I found the first letter, 16 is an H. All right, have fun with this. This is good practice.